Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Phoebe if you are new here. If you have been here, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for telling your friends to tell their friends to tell their mama's friends to come check out my channel. Anyway, today I'm going to be doing a full base tutorial because I've been getting a lot of compliments on my base and I'm just like, oh my god, it took me a long time to get here. Anyway, no, but really it's taken me a while to get down a routine that works for me, to get a base that just looks flawless without any filter, because right now we live in a world where everything is filtered. But over the years, I think I have mastered a base routine that looks flawless. Obviously, we are all flawed, but I'm not afraid to take pictures without a filter because I know for a fact that my skin looks amazing, even with makeup on. I don't look cakey, I don't look overly dewy, I don't look oily. I just look amazing. I want to say flawless, okay? I look flawless. Anyway, so I'm gonna share with you guys my base routine because it's bomb. Anyway, if you want to see what it is that I do to look the way that I do, stick around. All right, so to get started, I'm going to be using one of my favorite new primers, the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And the reason I love this is because my foundation sticks to it. My foundation literally just like latches onto it and it prevents it from creasing. It prevents it from looking cakey. It just holds on to my foundation and makes it look flawless. So I'm going to use a few pumps of that. Also, another key to having a flawless base is to make sure that you prep your skin properly before. I do my entire skincare routine before I put on makeup. Even if I've already taken a shower, I will go back, wash my face, and do my skincare routine because having hydrated and moisturized skin before you wear makeup is very important. That's what makes your makeup look like skin. That's what makes your makeup look supple, you know? Anyway, so my primer is on. I've worked it into my skin. I love the tackiness. It's not like sticky and gross. It's just like, okay, I know for a fact my foundation is going to stick and not move. All right, one thing that I make sure to always do is color correct. I'm gonna be using the LA Girl Pro Cosmetics color corrector in the color orange. I don't know why I'm talking fast. It may be because of this big cup of coffee. Anyway, I am just going to apply this wherever I have hyperpigmentation. And what this does is it helps my foundation look more seamless. It makes my skin more even. If you don't have hyperpigmentation, you can absolutely skip this part. You do not have to do this. I'm going to use a flat top brush. This is from BH Cosmetics. It does not have a name, but I love it. And I'm just going to blend this out into my skin. I like to use a brush and not a beauty blender because it tends to blend better with a brush. With the beauty blender, it leaves like streaks and I don't really like that. I'm going to be using my new Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation in the color Deep 4. This foundation is amazing. Amazing. I already put it in the back of my hand. I'm just going to apply it to my face. And you don't really need a lot. And again, I'm going to go in with another flat top brush. This one is by Sonia Kashuk. It's her flat top foundation brush. I absolutely love this brush. Before I get started, I'm going to be using this hydrating mist. It is a rose water hydrating face mist. And that's just to help me blend out my foundation. I didn't always do this, but I noticed that when I started doing it, my foundation just looks so much better. All right, for highlighting and contouring, I'm going to use my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the color Amande or medium dark 3, and then I'm going to be using my black Radiance foundation stick. I absolutely love this foundation stick for contouring. It gives me the best contour. It blends out perfectly. It's creamy, it looks good, it just works well for me. I've tried other ones and this is the one that I always go back to. It just works really well. It's in the color Chocolate Dipped. I love it. So I usually put my contour on first and then highlight. All right, so once I have applied my contour and my highlight, I'm going to blend out my contour first. And the reason for that is because I learned that if you let the highlight or the concealer sit and get tacky, the coverage is a lot better. And when I learned that a couple of years ago, I never stopped. Like I do that because it just works. Like you do get a better coverage. The concealer just applies better. Everything just works out better. And then also by having my contour done, I blend my highlight into it so it makes it look seamless. There aren't any harsh lines. So that's why I like to blend out my contour first. And I just blend upwards because when you do that, you are giving shape. So it's like you're sucking everything. If you feel like your cheeks are too round, by contouring, it gives it some dimension. And then by bringing it down here, it helps cover up my double chin because y'all, quarantine has been real. I like to pull it down towards my neck. Again, just to give it some contour, give me a shape. For the forehead, I bring it in. And the benefit of contouring your forehead is when you do this, you don't even have to apply foundation at your hairline because you're going to contour. So there's really no point. You can just leave your hairline as is. And then when you contour, this puts some color there and it makes everything look seamless. Again, if you don't do that, it's going to look like you're wearing a mask. You're going to have makeup here and no makeup here, and that looks weird. So I blend out my contour, as you can see. I'm gonna go in with a damp beauty blender, and I'm going to start with my under eye area. And I'm just pinching this a little bit just to give it some shape. I'm not taking it too far down. And then right here, you're just gonna pull it up towards your temples. For my forehead, I am pulling it up towards where I blended out my contour. And again, that just makes everything seamless. You don't want to get lazy when you're doing this because the better you blend everything out, the better your base is going to look and the better your makeup is going to look. All right, for my nose area, I'm going to blend out my contour with this e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. It's funny, it's concealer, but I'm using it for contour. So I'm just gonna hold the brush here, and I am blending it up towards my eyebrow and into my eye socket. And what that does is it just makes it look more natural. Like, yeah, this is my natural nose, don't question me. I'm going to go in with my bronzer. This is the Covergirl Full Spectrum bronzer. It's like the new version of the Ebony bronzer that came out a few years ago. I haven't set my face yet. I learned this from Jackie Aina, and I've been using it ever since. I'm gonna take a little bit of powder or a little bit of bronzer, and I'm just gonna warm up my face. All right, next up, I'm gonna start setting my face. My favorite setting powder is the Sacha Buttercup setting powder. It's like the banana powder, but I don't know, I just prefer this better. I'm going to use my damp beauty blender to do this. I'm not baking, I'm just setting. So I'm going to blow off the excess. Next up, I'm gonna go in with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Powder in the color Deep Dark. And I'm taking just a little, and this is just to press in any excess of that setting powder. I don't wanna brush it off because brushing it off would actually move your foundation, and you don't wanna do that. All right, next up, we are going to set our contour. I am using the Black Radiance Pressed Powder in the color Ebony. And I am going to use this BH Cosmetic Angle Brush. It doesn't have a name, but this is my favorite contour palette. You don't need a lot. Using the same brush that I blended out my contour with, I am going to set my contour with that brush. And this is just for the nose area. Remember to always take that up to your brow bone, to your eyebrow, into the eye socket, just to make it look more natural. You do not need a lot of powder. All right, so I'm going to go in with some blush. Honestly, my blush is never consistent. It just depends on what look I'm trying to do. I sometimes like to use my e.l.f. Always Spicy blush or my NYX powder blush in cinnamon. I think today I'm gonna go in with my NYX. This is like an orange color. I absolutely love orange blush. Love it. For highlighting, I use the same thing every single time. I use my Lorac Tantalizer. This has been discontinued, but it's a lot, like it's not going anywhere. So this is what I always use. I use a fluffy brush. This is the Morphe 509 brush. I remember when you're highlighting, it goes just on the highlights of your face. So your cheekbones, the tip of your nose, and the bridge of your nose. Do not connect it, so do the tip and then do the bridge. I like to highlight my Cupid's bow, a little on my chin. I used to highlight my forehead, but what I learned is it makes my forehead look bigger, so I don't do it anymore. But I do connect my highlight up. Last but not least, I am going to set my face with one of my favorite setting sprays. It's the Milani Make It Last setting spray. This is supposed to last 16 hours. It does what it says. Using your damp beauty blender, you're gonna go in and just press it into your skin. I learned this from Jackie Aina, and it's like the best thing. Like, it makes your skin, 1, it sets it better. 2, it makes you glow. 3, it looks like skin. All right, you guys, so this is the final look. I just let my hair down. I put on some lip gloss and I put on some earrings. But this is what my base looks like. And this is before I put on eyeshadow, before I put on mascara, or put on falsies. But yeah, I'm really proud of how well my makeup has gotten over the years, because when I started doing makeup, it was a hot mess. The one thing I would say is keep practicing. Find techniques that work for you. And don't expect to get it right like the first time. Don't expect to get it right the second, third, fourth, fifth. Like, it's always gonna change because you discover new things. Watching videos, you may see someone do something and you're like, you know, I wanna try that. Like, just watching Jackie Aina, I learned to press in my setting spray. I learned to put on bronzer before I set my face. So little things like that that you pick up along the way can help you tremendously. Do not be discouraged if your base does not look like mine, because again, you are coming up with a routine that works for you. You're not trying to be like me. You're basically seeing what I do and then using what you see to build a routine of your own. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was short, but I want to keep it short and simple because I feel like that's better for learning. When you drag it on, it's just really boring, but yes. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will see you in the next tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the bell notification. Don't forget to tell your friends, to tell their friends, to tell their mama's friends to come check me out. See you guys later. Stay safe.